Cell respiration is the breakdown of glucose, which you obtain from your food and your calories, in the presence of oxygen to create cellular energy, ATP. Cellular energy can be used for three different things. The cell can use it for mechanical energy, such as moving a muscle. Cellular energy can be used to help with active transport, moving material across a membrane from low to high concentration, or creating a vesicle. It can also be used for chemical energy inside the cell, such as breaking material down or building material up. The first step in cell respiration is glycolysis. Glycolysis is the breakdown of glucose in the absence of oxygen. It is an anaerobic process. It occurs in the cytoplasm, so all cells can go through glycolysis to obtain quick energy. Glucose is broken down due to the investment of two ATP molecules. Glucose is broken down into a bunch of intermediate molecules and eventually produces two pyruvate molecules. As glucose is being broken down into pyruvate, other molecules are formed. Two molecules of NADH are formed, which allows four molecules of ATP to be produced. However, the net ATP for glycolysis is 2, due to the original 2 ATP that we spent to break glucose up. The second step in cell respiration is called the Krebs cycle. We refer to this as a bank, or an energy bank, that is storing cellular energy, or energy, in the form of electron carriers that can be used to create ATP later on in the process. It occurs in the mitochondria of a cell, and it is an aerobic process. The two pyruvate molecules that were produced from glycolysis will enter the mitochondria. That pyruvate molecule will go through a series of chemical changes, producing a bunch of other molecules. CO2 is produced as a waste product and will then be respired out of the organism. Two additional ATP are also made, while energy carriers NADH and FADH2 are created. These energy molecules will then go to the last step, the electron transport chain, where their energy will be converted into ATP, or cellular energy. The last step in cell respiration is the electron transport chain. The electron transport chain also occurs in the mitochondria and is also an aerobic process, or an aerobic step. The NADH and the FADH2 energy molecules will enter from the Krebs cycle, the electron transport chain. They will then each give away their H plus ions and their electrons to become NAD plus and FAD plus. The H plus ions and the electrons that will move down the electron transport chain must be removed, otherwise the chain will back up, shutting down the Krebs cycle. So oxygen, which is breathed in by the organism, will come in and catch the H plus ion electron to create a byproduct, water, allowing the continual flow of electrons and H plus ions. The H plus ions also flow from a gradient of high concentration to low concentration will allow the cell to make a total of 34 ATP in the electron transport chain. So the overall reaction of glucose and oxygen as the raw reactants producing CO2 and H2O as byproducts to create ATP is cellular energy, or cell respiration. Glycolysis will end up making a total of 2 ATP. The Krebs cycle also makes 2 ATP, but a bulk of the ATP is made in the electron transport chain, 34 ATP, giving you a total of 38 ATP. However, 2 ATP are spent in glycolysis to move NADH all the way over to the electron transport chain, giving you a net of 36 ATP per one glucose molecule.